Hello, my friends, my buddies, my guys. How are we doing today? Well, I'm feeling pretty good because if the title and the thumbnail of this video didn't give it away, I just got fully monetized on YouTube. So excited! Now, if you're new here, hi, my name is Becca. I'm a content creator from Canada, and I have only seriously been creating content for the last 7 months or so. So I thought it would be helpful to other small content creators who are struggling to build their audience on YouTube what I did to not only meet the subscriber threshold, which is 1,000 followers, as well as getting my watch hours up. So let's talk about it because we don't gatekeep on this channel. Now, everything I'm about to tell you is obviously very specific to my journey. Hopefully, some of it will be helpful for you, but depending on the type of content that you create, some of the little tips and things that I'm going to talk about might not really apply to you. So I hope you get something out of this, but if you don't, that's okay too. Now, I've only seriously been creating content for about 7 months where I've been making an active effort to post almost every day, make regular content. But really, I started making videos about 2 years ago in 2023. And I started doing that on TikTok. Yeah, I'm going to tell you about how you really should be utilizing TikTok to grow your YouTube. I'm very sorry if that's not what you want to hear, but no joke. That is how I built my audience as quickly as I did on YouTube. But if you're following me here, it's probably because of the series I create called Elbows Up. And that also went semi-viral on Canadian TikTok back in March. Okay. And that was intended to be a one-off episode. I had never intended to make a whole series. I think at the time of recording this, I'm on episode 71. Yeah, well, that wasn't planned. It just sort of happened. And I thought, oh, okay, I'm making something that I enjoy. I'm making something that apparently other people enjoy. It would be nice if I could make a little bit of money off of it. And since that was never going to happen on TikTok, I opened up a YouTube. Now, to be clear, I have had my YouTube account for a very long time. And I think I uploaded one video well over a decade ago of just my rabbits playing, but I was never seriously uploading anything to YouTube. I uploaded the first Elbows Up video on YouTube in April. And by the end of June, I had over 1,000 subscribers. Now, it wasn't because my videos went massively viral here. They didn't. The most viewed video I have at the time of recording this is just over 5,000 views. Usually, I average between 500 and 1,000 views for Elbows Up. For my other content, usually the views are not that great. Here's hoping they start to go up a little bit, but it is what it is. It's slowly but surely getting better, so we're not going to worry about that. But how I was able to jump up in followers so quickly was because I used my TikTok audience. And what spurred it was I had somebody leave a really nasty comment on one of my videos, basically telling me that my channel was never going to grow. They were making fun of my followers. I think at the time I had around 600 followers, and you're never going to make it, blah, 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 blah. Just somebody being bitter and mad on the internet. Me, being a petty queen, went over to TikTok and said, hey, everybody, I just got this nasty comment. Wouldn't it be hilarious if I suddenly skyrocketed in followers and proved him wrong? And prove him wrong I did, because I jumped another 400 followers within a week and hit that 1,000 follower subscriber threshold. So that only took me a few months. And it was because I had a built-in audience on TikTok. So at bare minimum, if you don't already have a TikTok, open one up. You can make clips of your long format videos, use it as advertising, and make sure you have a link tree in your bio. Now on TikTok, you do have to have at least 1,000 subscribers before you can put a link in, but you could write what your YouTube handle is in your bio so people know. Also, have the same username on all platforms. Make it very easy for people to find you. One last thing I do want to say about TikTok and bringing your audience over is don't just mention it once and never mention it again. To this day, every couple of weeks, I'll be like, hey, did you know I'm on YouTube? If you're not already following me, head on over. That's where the fun is. And every time I do that, I usually do see a small spike in followers. It always helps. So whether you are on TikTok, if you are on Facebook, if you're on Blue Sky, if you're on Twitch, wherever you are, make sure you're mentioning that you have a YouTube and you're trying to grow it. And you would really appreciate people's support. It really, really does help. And I firmly believe that is why I've been able to grow my account as quickly as I have. Another thing that really helped me grow my channel was I did do quite a bit of research, and I'm still doing research. I am still watching content from creators whose whole channel is dedicated to growing your YouTube page. Now, a caveat to this is there are lots of creators who do that, and some of them, in my opinion, are just trying to sell you things, whether it be like certain programs that they want you to use because it's sponsored, or they want you to sign up for a course. I'm not saying all of these things are bad, but some of these channels really just seem like sales channels, and I don't know how much they care about you growing. That being said, there are some good channels. And one of the things that I really, really found useful were the things that you shouldn't do. Like, don't put in random hashtags that have nothing to do with your videos. Like, people will say, if you hashtag Taylor Swift because she's super popular, it will get more people viewing your videos. Well, not really, because people might come across it accidentally, realize you're not talking about Taylor Swift at all, and then they're not going to ever come back to your channel. Also, YouTube will sometimes flag your stuff if you're incorrectly hashtagging and just putting a bunch of spam to try and get people to watch your video, when all of the things that you've attached in the tags and the hashtags have nothing to do with your video. Don't do that. That's not a good idea. And I'm really glad that I learned that, because that is something that people do on TikTok all the time. Remember, different platforms, different algorithms. Not everything is going to work across all platforms, and that's one of them. So make sure you're staying on topic for whatever your videos are about. If you're making video game content, use video game hashtags. If you're doing entertainment content and you are covering someone like Taylor Swift, by all means, put her in there. I don't. I'm doing political satire, I'm doing comedy, I'm doing goofy stuff. And so I use the appropriate hashtags to go with that. Make sure you are looking at your analytics. Now, the analytics are not the be all end all, but for me, I found what was quite helpful was when it came to my subscribers, YouTube was telling me a lot of them are online between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m., which that's typically when people are eating lunch. So maybe they're on their break. And also between like 6:30 and 9 p.m. After work, people are home, people are watching whatever content they want. So that really makes sense. So that's when I try and upload my videos. I've also found my videos don't typically do well if I release them on a Saturday. I do think it's important to pay attention to your numbers, but also don't get tripped up on them. Don't only focus on them. I had a video do my best numbers a couple of weeks ago. It was an Elbows Up episode about Donald Trump's speech to the UN and how all the other countries react to it. And that to date is my best viewed video. It got over 5,000 views, which for me was a huge number. I hadn't even had a video get over 2,000 views. But the next video I released didn't do those numbers. It did, I think, around like 2,000 views or something. It was not bad at all. And I have been consistently getting at least over 1,000 views on all of my Elbows Up videos, which I was really proud of, that I was consistently hitting 4-figure views, because that wasn't happening when I first started uploading. I was lucky to hit 3 digits sometimes. So the numbers matter, but they also don't matter, if that makes sense. I see so many people get really stressed out about their views. Just remember, you're new, you are a small fish in a very large ocean. It will take time. And something that I have noticed recently is my older videos, their numbers are slowly going up. They've been increasing. I went and checked and I was like, oh, there's like 200 more views on this video now. And that's because as your audience slowly grows, your views will grow because people will go back and watch your old content if they really, really like it. So that's always nice to see. There is going to be a lot of trial and error. Please don't get discouraged if you have a video that does really, really well and then the next one tanks. Another thing that I've done was I tried to consistently upload multiple videos a week. Now, that doesn't always have to be a long form video. Shorts count as well, but I was always uploading something to my channel. Okay. I was constantly trying to keep putting out content because the more content you have, the more YouTube is going to study your content, learn about you, figure out who to push you to. So it is important, especially when you're starting out, to just try and be consistent with your uploads. That being said, don't upload just for the sake of uploading, because if you're not uploading something that is any good or it is completely off brand for you, it doesn't really match what you're trying to do with your channel, it's probably not going to help you. Like, it would make no sense if I suddenly started uploading content about cars, because that's not what this channel is about. I also have no interest in cars. I'm not a car girly. Sorry to all the car girlies and car boys out there, but that's just not my wheelhouse. It's not my thing. So it wouldn't really make sense for me to be uploading videos about that. I focus mostly on funny skits, little things that happen in my life, my opinions. That is all my brand. And that's kind of what some of the people have expected from my channel now who have been following me from the start. So know what you want to create and stick to your wheelhouse. That doesn't mean you can only create one thing, but make sure it is authentic to you. People want authenticity. People want to support creators who are actually passionate and believe in what they're making and saying. So if you're doing something that you're not into, if you're doing something just because you're chasing a trend and it doesn't really mesh well with your channel, it's probably not going to help you. It's going to hinder you. So try and make sure that you have a consistent upload schedule, even if it's only once a week. If you're starting out, personally, I do think there is benefit to uploading more than one thing a week, but it doesn't have to be a full length video. You can always clip up your long format videos for shorts, which will then help bring people to your longer videos. So keep that in mind. You can make it really easy on yourself. Something I do for Elbows Up is I make little trailers for them and then I post them as shorts, and it helps. This isn't so much a tip, but I do want to stress to people that you don't need to have the best equipment to start making content and to make good content. Everything to date that I have filmed on is through my phone. I'm using my phone right now because that's the camera that I have. This mic, this little mic pack that I bought, it's got a little plug-in for my phone, and I also have one more microphone. These were only $25. I didn't spend a lot. My phone is currently being propped up by my busted ring light. The ring light, which only turns on like 1 out of every 5 tries because I tripped over it and broke it. And I can't turn it on anyway when I'm wearing my glasses. Otherwise, I get a horrible reflection. You don't need to have the best of the best. You don't need to have really expensive equipment or setups. My most popular series is literally me standing just on the other side of this against a blank wall looking into a camera. I don't have a fancy set. I don't have fancy lightings. I have my phone and I have a microphone. That's it. Okay, so please don't think that you have to have all these tricks and tools of the trade, fancy equipment. You don't. It is something, as I grow as a creator, I would absolutely love to upgrade. There are some better cameras I would like to get, especially for when I'm out in the wild vlogging. Getting a better lighting system would also be great. But don't worry about it if you don't have it at the start. You don't need it. If you have just a decent quality phone with a good camera, you'll be fine. Last but not least, it is okay to get frustrated and it is okay to take breaks even when you're just getting started. I know what it feels like when you spend hours working on a video, you put so much time and effort into it and you upload it and it just goes nowhere. That sucks. It's a terrible feeling. And if you need to just pause and have a break and have a little pity party about it, do it. Do it. Your feelings are valid. I know what that feels like, but don't give up. So many people expect instant success. So many people expect everything to happen like this. It took me 7 months to get monetized. Now that's pretty quick from what I've heard from a lot of people, but still it took 7 months. It didn't happen in a week. It didn't happen in 30 days. And like I said earlier, when I was talking about how some people give better advice to others, there are a lot of videos that I have seen where it's like, get 1,000 subscribers in a week using this one method, get monetized in a week using these 3 tips and tricks. That can happen. But for the most part, it's not gonna happen. It is a slow process. And what you really should focus on is just small, incremental gains. With my channel, aside from the fact when I had like that massive boost in followers, when I said, hey, come be petty with me and let's build my account and prove a man wrong, the ladies really came through on me for that one. But really, my account has just ever so slowly been going up little by little, bit by bit. I have gained subscribers every week. It hasn't always been a lot. Some weeks I gain maybe 10. Another week I might gain 100. It's all over the map. But regardless, it is always going up little by little. I also can't stress this enough. Don't let the trolls bother you or discourage you. If anything, farm them for content. I've done that a couple of times. It feels so good. And it's so much fun because honestly, people who troll, in my opinion, are like the most pathetic people in the world. You have nothing better to do than leave nasty comments on videos that you don't like. I currently have this twerp who follows me. He follows me. I can see because it's public. And he does nothing but leave like snippy little comments in my comment section. Like he's trying to put me in my place and it's not working. Please remember that people will always try and put down your success, even if it's small. I'm by no means a big creator. I'm still a tiny little fish in the sea as well. I've only got about 2,500 followers at the time I recorded this. That's not a lot, but I'm proud of it. And I'm not going to let anybody tell me that I shouldn't be proud of it. So you be proud of your subscriber count, whether you've just crossed 100 followers, whether you just made that 1,000 threshold mark, or maybe you finally crossed 10K. It doesn't matter. What matters is how you feel about it. And don't ever, ever let some weirdo online who doesn't know you and doesn't care about you make you feel bad about yourself. Don't let them get to you. Just keep doing you. Focus on what you're doing. Keep at it. It is going to take time. Anything worth building takes a while. And there's no quick fix. Most of the big creators that you know, it took them years to get to where they were. So it's unrealistic if you think as a new content creator, you are just going to be monetized and making tons of money right away. I've only been fully monetized for 3 days. And so far, I have made $10. I know, right? $10. Not to brag. Not to brag. It's not a lot, but you know what? It's a start. And I'm super happy about that because even videos that I posted months ago have earned a couple of pennies from AdSense. Be proud of your success no matter how small it is. And as long as you are continually growing and you're learning and you're making better content and you're having fun, it doesn't really matter what anybody has to say about it. I hope this was helpful for you. If you are a small creator and you have any questions you would like to ask me, please leave them in the comments down below, and I will do my best to answer your questions and give you any advice that I have that's worked well for me. Like I said, we don't gatekeep on this channel. And furthermore, I do plan on releasing a video at the end of November showing how much I made on 1 month in AdSense. As I've already told you, I've so far made $10 just after a couple of days. So I'm really interested to see what it'll be. So if you would like to follow along with this journey, please hit the subscribe button, give the video a like, do all the things, and let's grow together. I wish you all of the best. Try not to get discouraged, and I will see you soon. Bye.